Good morning. I hope you are doing really well. So, 24 banks in Kenya are at the verge of collapsing. And I know this news is almost everywhere, and people are asking themselves, okay, what is happening in Kenya? Why are 24 banks at the verge of collapsing? So, here I'm going to tell you why. So, in the last few days, the Kenya Bankers Association has had a meeting with the Parliamentary Committee of Finance just to talk about the new laws that have been proposed that will affect the new business and financial laws that have been proposed. And the key thing was surrounding the core capital issue. So the core capital issue has been proposed to increase from 1 billion to 10 billion within a span of 3 years. And before we even go to all those nitty-gritties, let me first explain to you what core capital is. And in a layman's language, I think core capital is the stable and reliable form of capital that every bank and financial institution must have so that they can absorb losses and continue with their operations. And why this core capital is necessitated is, first of all, because of risk absorption. That is number one. Number two is stability in its operations. And number three is regulatory compliance. So the issue that is currently here is that there is a new business law that is affecting the banks and the financial institutions, and the proposal is that the core capital increases from 1 billion to 10 billion within a period of 3 years. Most banks, actually the 24 banks, do not have 150 billion, which is the threshold for them to have 10 billion as their core capital. So technically, if this law is approved today, those 24 banks will close tomorrow. It's not an issue of this, and that, because, and for those banks that will be able to meet this or are just slightly close to meeting this, it will mean, first of all, increase of their transaction fees. So basically, if you transact or if you do transactions to these banks, you'll experience that their fees will increase to a certain percentage. That is number one. Then they will also increase the interest rates of loans. And that means nobody will be taking loans with them. That will lead to stagnation of the economy. And this will also have a negative impact to the government, because it will not be able to meet its tax obligations. Like, it won't be able to collect enough tax, or rather the tax base will reduce, because SMEs will be affected, businesses will be affected, etc., etc. Now, another thing is, if these 24 banks, let's say, close today, more than 7,000, okay, up to 7,000 people might lose their jobs. That is number one. 700 properties will close their businesses, because these banks, if they cannot sustain their operations, it means, okay, we can't even manage renting these specific properties. Now, if you're a depositor and you have put your money in the bank and you're worried, okay, what if my bank's closed tomorrow? What will I do? What will happen to my deposits? There is a very good video which I did, Banks Are Collapsing in Kenya, and it has extensively explained to you as a depositor what will happen should a bank collapse in Kenya. So just go to that video, click it, then you will receive enough information as far as banking systems in Kenya are concerned. So what I'm saying is the taxes are being increased, the core capital has been increased, and before we close, the proposal that the Kenya Bankers Association gave to the Parliamentary Commission of Finance was, instead of 3 years, at least give us 8 years, because the feasibility we are doing is by 8 years, no bank will be affected in Kenya. Everyone will be able to shift from the 1 billion to the 10 billion proposed in terms of the core capital that every bank needs to have. We are yet to know whether that will be approved, but if it will be approved and a green light is given, I'll be the first one to bring you that tea, so that I inform you on the progress as far as our banking systems are concerned. With that said and done, thank you so much for sticking to this video towards the end. I really appreciate your support, and have a good day. Thank you so much.